Some things happened to Steve when he was little. I'm not going to say nothing about that, but he was violated when he was younger, and he never spoke about it. But Mary told me about it. And Steve, because I don't like you, I'm not going to say anything about that, because it would be nothing for me to like come up off of telling you that. I am very sorry about the person who violated you when you were young. I wish you really should have told somebody, because maybe you wouldn't be all jacked up like you are now. But if there's any way that he would see this and hear this, know that I would never try to destroy him, because that's nothing that I would go hard about someone and you're violated by another person. But I do believe by him being a child and he was violated by a church member, I think that has an issue with him right now. He probably would never want someone to say, and you can think about what it is. It would be for Steve to tell on that church member and to say that. And it's still to this day, because of the things that Steve Harvey has went through, some of his actions could have been displayed on the things that he went through when he was younger himself, because he's a liar. He didn't have a relationship with his mother like that. He barely had one with his father. You see what I'm saying? Did he love his mother? Yes, but it was not at the magnitude, because Mary said when his mother was on his deathbed, her deathbed, Steve was somewhere doing a show or something, and she continued to call Steve to come to her bedside, and Steve had a show to do, and it was more important. The next thing, I don't know if his mother had a stroke or something, she got all like discombobulated, and when Steve made it to the hospital, she was already dead. Wow. And when Steve got his money, he said his mother changed. Ask Mary. Steve's mother said he changed. I also got to talk to Steve Harvey's brother's wife. You didn't know that, did you, Steve?
I didn't know that.
Terry, when I was being stalked and harassed, and I got some text messages from her, by the way. She said Steve was a good man and that I need to give him a chance to make this situation right. She said that Steve did not mean to do what he did to me. So then I got her number and I called her. When we got through talking, she didn't want me to let Steve know that she had talked to me. So it's out now, sweetie. So it's whatever. I still didn't call your name, but this is Steve's brother's wife. She also told me that Steve was paying all their bills, that if she told something, he would stop paying her bills. So she couldn't tell me anything. She didn't want me to destroy her brother-in-law because he was paying a lot of people's bills. He wasn't paying mine. So that ain't have nothing to do with me. Hello. She also said that Mary used to come over to her house because Steve was a slight bit abusive at times, and Mary would come over there and get away. I saw the restraining orders, so he can't lie. They were in those court documents. And one time he slashed Mary's tire so she couldn't leave and get away because she didn't want to be bothered. But at the end of the day, even though he had a violent streak about himself, he would still try to make things okay. And she wanted me to know that if I destroy Steve, I destroy everybody in his family, because he take care of so many people. And she said he drinks a lot and he gets drunk. And when he gets drunk, he does not know how to hold his liquor. And a lot of times when he called me on the phone, which I got phone calls of him calling me, y'all can go over and hear some of the stalking calls. You can hear a voice and know whose voice it is. And because of that, she said that he didn't know what to do because he ain't never been in a situation. He had bullied so many people, but he had never been up against a person like me. So I used some of the stuff that he did. I started using it against him. When they would make videos, I would take their videos and retape them and put them on my page from them threatening me. But because I used his footage, they flagged my page for copyright and they took it all down. But what they don't realize is when I filmed it, I still got copies of it now. I don't have all that they did, but it was these about 800 videos of people stalking me. And Margie Harvey was a stalker called Coco Love. She was in on it too. Your ass had to use a mask because I know you ain't gonna come to me face to face because that ain't what kind of broad that you are. But just to know that they put themselves in this situation trying to like degrade people or run them crazy or disrespect them because we're telling the truth. Everything that Margie get right now, I wanted to feel sorry for her, but I cannot feel sorry for her. I cannot feel sorry for her the way she did to Jimmy Townsend. I can't feel sorry for her the way she let Winter grow up without his mother. I can't feel sorry for her because you let Steve beat Winton and you covered it up. I can't feel sorry for you because you helped Steve take Winton away from Mary. I can't feel sorry for you because you let Jimmy did 27 years for your rotten ass because you didn't have enough class enough to go try to make sure your kid's father's okay. And he took that 27 years with you. No man in this world could take a 27-year-old, and I mean 27 years in a prison, and I still not be by him. That's not even what type broad I am. You see what I'm saying? I was married, and I'm cool with my body. I was married to my bodyguard, and I'm cool with my bodyguard to this day. He's the first man that I've been married with before. We separated now. All this stuff with Steve Harvey, it was too much. Steve Harvey and brought some of his family members in to stalk me and come against me. So it just made us kind of break, and we had to separate because I didn't want to keep going through that.
Lord have mercy. As you were talking about that with Steve Harvey's brother's wife, first off, I just read that Steve Harvey had his twin brother,
Terry.
Okay, so I found an article from 2011. See.
Come on.
We just started some shit now because people gonna start digging.
Come on. He paid him off to recant that. Come on now.
This is from Magic 102.3. I don't know what city that's in, but this was published February 1st, 2011, written by Courtney Hicks.
Read.
And it says Steve Harvey's brother Terry Harvey and his wife called into Sam Silk radio show and showed their support for Steve's ex-wife, Mary, being hurt and frustrated. Terry said he hasn't spoken to Steve in a year and a half. Mary posted 3 videos on YouTube over the weekend where she says Steve was a cheater and his current wife, Marjorie, had an affair with Steve while he was still married to Mary. The story keeps growing legs. Now, let's play this. Hold up, I gotta take it down. So let me know. All right. So when you go to the page, the interviews have been taken down.
Yep. And that's why he paid his wife. He paid his sister him off. That's what that right there. That's what made him start paying him that interview. And you got to know, I know, because how would I know his brother's name?
That is very true. Me and you have never talked about that before. Now check this out.
It's so much be coming back when you start remembering. You know what I mean?
True. But check this out. So the date of this interview, Mary did an interview with Tom Joyner on January 31st, 2011. The interview that Terry Harvey did with their radio station was on February 1st, 2011. So Mary did her interview with Tom Joyner, then Terry did his interview with that radio station. Oh, Steve was mad as a motherfucker.
And Tom Joyner brought Mary on there to try to not help her, but make her look stupid for Steve. Now he couldn't. If I had been on there, he could have made Mary look stupid. I would have ate Tom Joyner up for breakfast, dinner, and supper. He wouldn't have had. That nigga wouldn't have had them legs to stand on because he was a liar too. He tried to make Mary look bad.
Well, you know, I mean. They're in the business, so of course they gonna look out for each other. Tom ain't gonna tell, you know what I mean. He ain't gonna tell the truth. But
they know who to invite on their shows and who not to.
Hello, that's why certain people don't get invites because they know.
Ricky Smiley did a show where he had Mary's personal assistant on there, right? She was a lie too, and Ricky rolled with that lie. Is that the same? What's that article? Tom Joyner?
Yeah, this is the Tom Joyner. And I'm just looking here at the old picture of them.
Mary got a cool job to make that nigga happy.
2011, Mary Harvey told Tom Joyner invited Mary on and encouraged her to move on from the 2005 divorce. So he brought Mary on to tell her to let it go.
Yeah. And like, who was Tom Joyner to tell her to let it go?
When it's her life.
But who is your bald-headed ass to say anything? And where your wife at, Tom?
Mary said, it took me a long time to get to this point. The reason I've been silent this entire time is because I did take into consideration what it would do to both of our families and our community. but she said she decided to publicly discuss the fall of the marriage because keeping quiet hasn't served me physically. Hell no, with a bully like Steve Harvey, being quiet wasn't going to, you were supposed to get at that nigga ass.
Yeah, but then look at this. Even though all that happened, look how the whole world just shut down and just kept letting this cat. That's why he keep doing because they keep allowing him to keep violating women.
She said it hasn't served our son Winton. I have suffered physically because of it. I'm not in good health right now. And that interview was gone too.
What you call it? Washed out storm?
Wiped out.
Yeah, see, and that's what they did. As soon as I came on it, it said like they started wiping everything out because you could go back and put trails. Like at one time, I found articles where they had pictures of Margie, but they were calling her Mary Harvey because people still didn't really know what was going on because they were still trying to look like the perfect family.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.